Alright, who are we going to talk to this time? Ala Mhigo Delegate. Oh, right, we're going to see Fordola and Arnvold, because this is Ala Mhigo. Far from free. The Ala Mhigo Delegate at... What? Okay. That's not... I wouldn't say two here, but okay. The Ala Mhigo Delegate to Razid Han has grim news to convey. If you are ready to lend us your aid, I'll apprise you of the situation. We've received reports of a creature believed to be a blasphemy stalking the streets of Ala Mhigo. Troops have been assigned to track and slay the beast, but there are likely to be casualties. With most of our healers posted elsewhere, we had thought to petition you for aid. I'd be glad to help. Sounds like you need better soldiers, not more healers, but if I must, that's a bit mean. Once again, we're in your debt. We shall inform Commander Aldine forthwith. My comrades in the Immortal Flames will be glad to have you watching over them. You see, as there have been no sightings of any blasphemies in our lands, we have joined our Ala Mhigo allies in their hunt for the fiend. Trouble is, the majority of our own healers are working day and night to treat the tempered Imperials captured at Pagalthon. For that reason, we too will be glad of your help. Your presence alone will be of great comfort to the troops, I'm sure. As time is of the essence, I ask that you make your way to the Ala Mhigo quarter and report for duty. Captain Aldine is overseeing the hunt, and he will explain all upon your arrival. May Ralgar grant you strength. Alright, let's head on over to Ala Mhigo quarter, meet up with Pippin. I think last time we saw Pippin was at the Ilsabard contingent. Alright, over here? Yeah, it's always over here. There we go. Blasphemy Hunter. Ah, Mistress Mason. We were told you were on your way. But this is even quicker than expected. Well, yeah, I did just teleport here. I'll tell Commander Aldine you've arrived. One moment, please. Glad you could join us. Now that the far greater crisis has been resolved, we may, and must, turn our undivided attention to matters of a smaller but no less deadly scale. I'd like nothing more than to hear about your recent adventures, but I'm afraid such pleasantries will have to wait. Oh my. As our men in Thavner will have told you, a blasphemy is loose in Ala Mhigo. When it first appeared, the city guard were able to get most of the bystanders to safety, and for a mercy, those caught in the chaos only suffered minor injuries. But the fiend managed to escape and has not been seen since. We must find it, and soon. For as long as it remains at large, every man, woman, and child is at risk. As was the case in Thavner, the blasphemy's very existence seems to spur the creation of lesser beasts. The longer it is allowed to roam free, the more tragedy our people will suffer. Are you certain it's a blasphemy? Did anyone see the change take place? Oh, that's a good point. Are you certain? There were several eyewitnesses who gave the same account. A man walking through the Ala Mhigo quarter fell to his knees all of a sudden, and a moment later transformed into the monstrosity we now pursue. That's not good. But yeah, that pretty much confirms it's a blasphemy. But beyond the fact he was a young Highlander, we know next to nothing about him. Even the description of his appearance are too vague to help identify the lad, and we've no clues as to his name or background. Well, that's not helpful. For all we know, he might not have been born in Ala Mhigo, might have been the son of a refugee come to visit. There are other possibilities we're investigating, though. That said, I doubt his circumstances are unique. Blasphemies and beasts are born when men are overcome by despair, and whatever drove them to turn likely could have done the same to another. Therefore, if we are to prevent further tragedies, it is imperative that we identify and address the underlying cause. Until we do, we'll have no choice but to deal with the afflicted the only way we know how, by granting them a quick death. For now, I would have you join the hunt and keep my men from falling prey to these creatures. Are you up to it? Of course I am. You have my thanks. And as chance would have it, we've just received word that a number of beasts were spotted in the outskirts of Ala Mhigo. The troops stationed there have already put them down, but were wounded in the process. First and foremost, they need medical attention, and that's where you come in. I'll meet you there. Oh wait, Aldine... I thought Aldine was Pippin, not Raubon. Wait, they have the same last name, because adopted son. Right. Okay, where are we going? The peaks? Oh, okay, up to the north. The Lisa's place. Lisa's hometown. Where she's like, why don't you fight? Because we die, you dumb idiot. Alright. We should be right down here. Oh, we gotta go over here. Wounded fighter, mortified fighter. Knowing what they are, who they were, could any of us end up like that? Don't think like that, bro. Don't think like that. Just trust me. It's my own damn fault for being so careless. What must Commander Aldine think of me? He thinks you're a fine soldier, young one. Although the soldiers were able to lead the beasts away from the village and cull the lot of them, victory did not come easily. It's times like these that our lack of healers is most sorely felt. I dare say they've yet to receive any treatment at all. See to their wounds while I survey the area for any stragglers that may have escaped. Once I've completed my patrol, I'll head to the village to gather eyewitness reports. Look for me there after. What, just cast a couple heals? At Eloquiums? Oh, I have to actually talk to them. Really? Is that all this is gonna be? Gods be good, I feel reborn! Almost like the whole realm. Hold on, you're brilliant, aren't you? I can't believe it! You're the one who inspired me to join the Resistance in the first place. I'm sorry. And now you've come to save me in my hour of need. I'll never forget this. Thank you, thank you! I'm sorry. Wrong way. I saw them change, right before my eyes. Those weren't monsters I killed, but innocent men. No, they're gone. Don't think like that. But it had to be done. There were others we had to protect. And thanks to you, I can continue to do this, just that. Once I've made my way back, I'll give a full account. The families, they'll understand. Again, you guys are going the wrong way. Like, that's away from the village. The village is this way. Alright, Raubon. Oh, right. Pippin is the leader of the Immortal Flame, is the commander of the Immortal Flames now. And, Raubon is the commander of the Ala Mhigo Resistance. Well, not really Resistance. Oh, I didn't know Arnold was over here. It was good of you to come all this way, though I never doubted for a moment that you wouldn't. After all you've done for the people of Girabanya, we couldn't ask for more, and yet, here you are. I mean, there's a quest. Of course I'm going to be here. For treating the wounds of these soldiers, you have my thanks. And theirs too, no doubt. It seems they were indeed successful in slaying all the beasts. If my search is any indication, but we must remain vigilant. I've also spoken with several people who witnessed the moment of the transformation, though the ordeal has understandably left them rather shaken. I hear you've been through a fair few ordeals yourself, Brillian. As for me, I've been kept busy with this and that, like getting the hang of this wheelchair. Obviously, it has its limitations, but it gets me where I need to go. I've been working with this new organization as well, which is what brought me here, but no sooner had I arrived than those locals turned. Ragnfrid, I heard you were there when it happened. What can you tell us? The ones who underwent the change are the very people who were trying to help. Huh? Perhaps I should explain from the beginning. The meeting Elise held in the royal palace marked a turning point for all of Garabania. It spurred us to open a dialogue with the people and communities we were otherwise would have shunned. But there's still so many people to be addressed, and countless souls struggling to build new lives for themselves. I decided to form a volunteer group, the Silver Griffins. Our main concern is the welfare of Ala Mhigans who sided with the Empire, for whatever reason, and helping them find a place in society, in particular the surviving families of Prania Lupi. Wait, wasn't that the place to the southwest? I thought you despised skulls. You've changed your tune. Yeah, he has. Make no mistake, I've not forgiven them. I don't have that in me, and I doubt I ever will. But the memory of the day in the palace of Fordola asking to be locked up again after saving us all, it stayed with me. It got me thinking about why she and the other youths would commit such atrocities. Why they'd swear to serve the Empire. And the answer was simple. Because they'd seen what we'd seen and suffered much the same. In a hell where all were condemned, they chose to betray one brother to save another. That's how the Garleans win. Not by breaking you, but by making you break yourself. By making that choice the right one for a man at the end of his tether. Healing only begins with liberation, and some scars never will, regardless. Those who've returned from foreign lands may have difficulty carving out a living here, but the ones who pledged allegiance to Garlemald. This is not the Ala Mhigo we dreamed of, but after 20 years of misery, I'll not see it all thrown away because we can't come to terms with the past. That's why I formed the Silver Griffins, to see that no one is cast aside. It's a cause I support, and that's what brought me here today. I've been acting as mediator. Yeah, because he's technically half Garlean. Aye, and in a short time he's been with us. He's proven himself a natural. But despite his early success, the families of the Skulls continue to refuse our help. I think I see where this is leading. They're the ones who turned, yes? Probably because they think that they're gonna be, like, alienated and oppressed. It comes as no surprise. Their kin tormented and murdered fellow Ala Mhigans. Anyone with a conscience would feel shame and guilt, and for some, it might be too much to bear. I think I might know why they're turning us away. It's a sensitive matter, though, so let's go somewhere we won't be overheard. Okay. Now where's Fordola? Didn't she, like, dedicate herself to him or something? It's about one of the men who turned. I saw his memories right because he's got the echo. And that's why him and Fordola were able to go to Pagelthon Tower at the end of Post-Shadowbringers. Because they weren't going to get tempered. With the echo, I'll not pretend I understand it, but tell me what you learned. I only caught a glimpse, but that was enough. It was during the occupation. A man raising his son. Only the two of them, but they were a family. To keep his boy clothed and fed, He chose to side with the Empire. He knew that others would say, but he did it anyway. And so he was branded a traitor. Every day, his son listened to the jeering, the insults, but there was nothing he could do. When he came of age, he joined the Skulls in hope that it would make life easier for his father. He never dared to question his orders, no matter how depraved. He died in the Revolution, but not before killing his own countrymen. His father wept not for the betrayer and murderer, but for the man he could have been. He blamed it all on himself, right up until the change took him. I can only pray he and his boy finally found the peace they were denied in life. Alas, theirs is an all too familiar tale. They cannot forgive themselves, nor can they see how anyone else could. The sins of their kin weigh heavy on them. They think themselves undeserving of our compassion. If they carry on like that, they'll turn into beasts. We've got to help them before it's too late. Growing up half Garlean in Ala Mhigo, I know how it feels to be shunned and hated, to hate myself. But so long as we give ourselves and others a chance, we can change for the better. And while I might not be as clever or eloquent as someone like Alphanode, I know I can make a difference. I might not be quite the swordsman I used to be, but I'm still a fighter at heart, and I owe it to Ab and Ollie to make the most of this life so long as I've got it. By the way, where's Fordola? We Silver Griffins will give our all to see that no more beasts or blasphemies ravage Girabanya again. So, Commander Aldine, do we have our approval to continue our work? Of course. There's no enemy more formidable than despair, and I'd be a fool to refuse your help. That even a single one of our people has succumbed to this transformation is proof of our failure to protect them. Therefore, I pledge the Silver Griffins my unconditional support. Together, we will prevail. Now that we have Brilliant on hand to aid the troops, I believe we are ready to face any beast we encounter. Though I fear it is only a matter of time before others appear, I ask that you lend the Silver Griffins your assistance in the meantime. Okay, sounds good to me. Very good. For now, let's return to the city. That's pretty interesting. So, right now we're specifically targeting the Skulls, or just in general the people that sided with Garlemald like the Skulls. Which makes me wonder where Fordola is even more, considering we're seeing Arnvald and we're talking about the Skulls. We're gonna run into Fordola at some point. Plus she was in the quest art, so we know that she's gonna show up at some point. Okay, Relbon, that first quest done. Those who harbor guilt do so not because they are weak of heart, but because they have failed to meet the demands they make of themselves. 'Twas the same for me when I believed that my failures had led to the Sultana's assassination. The despair and self-loathing were indescribable. I was fortunate that you and the other Scions came to my rescue, that I had friends who convinced me I was more than the sum of my worst mistakes. Now we must do the same for the people of Ala Mhigo. We must help them to heal and find the strength to, if not forgive, then come to terms with who we are, so we can look to who we can be, who we should aspire to be. This is precisely why our work of the Silver Griffins is so vital. Though our problems are not new, the emergence of this deadly phenomenon means we cannot afford to delay addressing them any longer, and we will be better for it ultimately. Once we've decided a course of action, you'll be the first to know. Until then, May Ralgar watch over and keep you. Well, this is pretty interesting.